Hi, I'm Priyanka, an AI engineer and founder of DataCreator AI. Throughout my career, I spent countless hours collecting, cleaning, and manually creating datasets for AI systems. One weekend, I even spent 2 continuous days filling spreadsheets by hand just to prepare the training data. At a and honestly, this is far more common than you think. Studies estimate that up to 35% of AI development time goes into data preparation and pre-processing. That's the time engineers lose after work, on weekends, during critical development cycles. I built Data Creator AI to help solve that. Data Creator AI helps teams generate, augment, and refine high quality synthetic data sets for AI workflows. So we combine the speed of AI systems with human judgment and real world context to create better training and evaluation data sets. So AI is improving productivity across industries. I believe it should improve productivity for AI engineers too. Let's see a quick demo of how our platform works. So this is the Data Create AI website, and you can get started for free by clicking here and signing in with Google authentication. It's very simple. You just need to accept the terms and conditions and then click on sign in with Google. Once you sign in, you will see an interface like this where you can either click on generate data or create with AI. Click on generate data, it will ask you to choose the output format. So we support two kinds of output formats. The first one is the structured data, wherein you can generate data with specific columns and you can export them as CSV or JSON. So that is the structured data part. And the chat data part is more of a conversational data set generation where you can download the data set that has been generated in the OpenAI compatible format. So let's see how the structured data set generation looks first. So as you can see here, there are some example prompts where you can, if you just want to see how the platform works, you can use one of these and you can generate up to 500 rows per request. But you can continue generating in steps of 500. So let's generate a sentiment analysis data set with 3 sentiment labels. Let's provide some sentiment labels as positive, mixed, and negative. It is better if you can give the columns as well. If you don't mention any columns, our system will just infer from the prompt and give you some related column names. So here I am mentioning the product name, price, review, and the sentiment. If you do not mention any and the sentiment. If you do not mention any number, initially 100 rows will be generated, but you can also just mention it in the chat form itself. Let's say I want 200 reviews, and then just click on this button. What will now happen is our backend system, it will analyze your prompt and ask you a few questions, which you can answer, or you can just skip and directly generate the data. Let's see what questions our system has for you. So if you see here, it's asking you more questions about the data. So the more context you provide and the more questions you answer, the more accurate your data will be to your exact requirement. So for example, if you see, do you have any preferences regarding the types of products? So in our prompt, we didn't mention any types of products. We're just asking for reviews. So if you have any specific types of products in mind, you can mention them. And also you can mention some formats for the price. Let's say I want the price in INR or I want the price in a particular currency. By default, it will generate dollars. So you can also mention if the reviews should be long or short. So, and the sentiment labels, the distribution. So there are a number of things you can mention as per your requirements. Or if you do not want to answer the questions, or you do not want our assistant to help you refine the prompt, and if you think your prompt is sufficient enough, or you want to explore, you can just click on skip and generate now. Let's see that flow first. So once you click on skip and generate now, our prompt will be taken to the main system, and so your entire data set will be streamed in steps of rows, and you will see that now looks. So if you see the product, the column names that were mentioned have been taken into account, and different kinds of products are here for you to see. And if you want to go to the next page, you can just click here. And yeah, so you asked for so you asked for 200 rows and you got a bonus of 22 rows extra, and you can just go through and see what kind of products are there. If you see, most of them are electronics, since we've mentioned anything, and there's a review and the sentiment. Now you see if you have four columns and the approximate number of tokens which are in this data set. I mean, will be very relevant if you are trying to generate text data. So once you have data like this, you can download the data set in different formats, which is CSV, JSON, JSON. You can also upload this data set to Hugging Face and directly use it in your workflows, but that feature is coming soon. So you can generate as much data as you want. So now you have 200 rows. Let's say you want to make some changes to it. You can see that once the data generation has been complete, if you go to the chat bot, you can see that the number of rows generated is here, and you can also keep adding more data points to this. And additionally, we have an automated quality audit of this generated data. So this is more like a guidance for you to guide you to add more similar data points. For example, if you see, there is this insight report, and here are all the topics that have been covered. Topics covered here, in the sense, means the kinds of products that you have in your data set. And opportunities to expand again gives you, like, you can add more products like books and media, health and beauty products. So all you need to do is you can click on this, and I've selected two kinds of, I add two selected topics. And now it will generate those topics. It will generate products related to those kinds of topics that we have selected, and it will add them to this data set. So if you see now, 10 rows have been added, and you can see how many data points have been received here in the chatbot. Usually these data points will be added at the end, and you can see if those match to your expectations. So yeah, let's go here and see. So if you see now, we've added books and media, and also some beauty products. So yeah, you can see that many book names have been added here along with the price and also the reviews. So this is how you can add more data points. You can keep on adding data points. We only charge you when you want to download this data set. You can work on it as much as you want. So now there's also an option of correcting this data set, not just adding rows to it. Now, if you see, for the price column, sometimes you have the dollar sign, sometimes you don't have the dollar sign. So that is kind of an inconsistency. So you can correct such inconsistencies by giving your requirements as to how it should be. Now let me add that. Just remove the dollar sign from the price column. So I mentioned remove the dollar sign from the price column so that it's consistent. And once the change has been done, you can see it in green here, and you can either accept it or reject it. You can just check it, like you can use this or you can use this, and just check if the changes are up to your expectations. And if they are, then you just click on the green button, and your changes are applied. Now, when you download the dataset, all your changes are applied, and the price is again, it's consistent. So this is how you can make changes. You can make other changes as well. You can add new columns to this data set, or you can change the length of the reviews. Let's say these reviews are a bit short. You can ask the model to write longer reviews, or make the reviews more colloquial instead of, very formal like this. So there are a number of things you can do with your data sets. And finally, when you are ready, after you've worked on this, then you can download the JSONL dataset. So once you have worked in your workspace, then you can just clear it all and then start a new session and start generate completely different kinds of data. So here, when you click on generate data, after you click on clear all, here you can go to select chat data. And maybe let's generate user and assistant conversations to build a customer service bot for an e-commerce app that sells clothes and cosmetics. So this is what we want. And maybe you can just mention how many conversations you want. Let's stick to 200 conversations. And then you follow the same flow again. We again are working on it. You can mention more context. You can answer the kinds of questions. There are a number of things you can do. So one more thing I would like to mention is there's a custom order. So instead of you generating the data and you refining it and you spending all this time to get to a correct training data set, we can do this for you as long as you mention your requirements. What all you need to do is just give your prompt, and instead of generate now, you can click custom order, and the custom order, and we receive the custom order, and then we get back to you with the pricing details. So there's also that option you can take, but let's skip that for now, and let's again click on skip and generate now. And it again follows the same flow. Generate conversational data sets that look like this. You can generate multi-turn conversations. That is the main advantage of this. And if you still want to edit some of the conversations or some of the text, you can always click on the expand editor, and then you can see the conversation and you can add more turns. You can also add some tool calls to the assistant, and then you can click on save changes, which will be reflected when you download the dataset. And the same applies for this. You can go from one row to the other row using this navigation. So if you see, we've asked for support chats for an e-commerce for clothes. So you can see that some user is asking for if they have plus size clothes, and if the assistant is replying, what are the options. So you can generate these kinds of conversations, and you can go through the data set either using these bubbles, like if you prefer this, or you can expand the editor and go one by one, or check a few conversations. And if you're happy, you can click on download dataset. And when you download dataset, it will it will show you the data, it will download the dataset in the JSONL format that is acceptable by OpenAI. Here, when you want the dataset, you can click on JSONL and you can download the dataset. You can give it the name that you prefer. You can also give some feedback about the data or about the experience on the platform, which would be very helpful for us to further improve the platform. And apart from these, we also have our blog, wherein from time to time we provide insights as to how this synthetic data space is evolving, and how you can fine tune and customize existing AI models using synthetic data. So this is our platform. Thank you for watching the video until the end. Any kind of feedback is welcome. Thank you very much.